Production paid for the trip. That wasn't Porsha's trip. Production paid for. Oh my God, have you never seen The Housewives? Porsha didn't pay for the trip. If Drew didn't show up, Drew wouldn't have been paid. She is a single mother. She needs the money. Production paid for the trip. Oh my God. I'm never watching this channel again because production paid for the trip. That wasn't Porsha's trip. Forget Porsha. F Porsha. Porsha has crashed trips before. You don't remember season 8, episode 2000? At timestamp 1055? Production. That's how y'all sounded. That's how y'all sounded in the comments. Very Brit last episode. Don't do that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We're here today to talk Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. I think this is episode 8. Boots on the ground. I can do the dance with the fan. All right. If you guys are brand new to the channel, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I personally feel like Angela is carrying the season, right? We all know that Porsha was supposed to be the anchor. Porsha is supposed to be the savior of Housewives of Atlanta, and she's flopping. She's flopping, right? She's flopping, okay? But let's go ahead. Let's talk about the episode. So it starts off with Shamia letting us know she can sing. Once again, every episode, Shamia is going to sing for us. So Shamia makes up a country song, an original, if you will, about it being Porsha's birthday. Now, she could have called Roxy Says, because Roxy does original songs in her YouTube channel. Shout out to Roxy. But, I mean, hey, Shamia's was aight or whatever. It was aight. So we see Britt calling her husband, and she was saying how weird it was that Angela advocated for Drew to be there. Britt, you're weird. I think everything you do, say, breathe, think, speak is weird, but whatever. So she now feels that she needs to keep her guard up with Angela. They need to keep their guard up with you because you go around threatening folks. I mean, if anybody needs to be on guard around anyone else, it's you, right? Is you right, Britt? I digress. So we see Shamia's on the FaceTime call with her husband while her husband is at the doctor with Shiloh. She's been congested. We know that Shiloh has some health complications. So Shamia probably just wants to be a part of every doctor's visit, as she should. She said that he is such an amazing father. And because of that, she has to give him the son that he wants. Don't carry that baby, Shamia. Don't carry that baby because we have seen the health complications that you have had. Get y'all a surrogate and move forward with that, but don't carry that baby. Can she carry the baby? Don't carry that baby. So we then have Cynthia and Angela. So Cynthia looks out of place with this group. Cynthia is too old to be with this group. She doesn't fit. She doesn't fit. But Cynthia is looking for Drew. Apparently, Drew was on her way. Now, we know that Atlanta to Nashville is a very quick flight. I've taken that flight numerous times myself. It's very quick. It's like 45 minutes in air total, right? Not a long flight at all. And Angela was like, Drew says she's on her way. So Cynthia said, look, Drew put herself into this position because, baby daddies hit different. And don't come looking for Leon. Cynthia, you swear. Anytime Cynthia has to talk about a baby daddy or something, she bring Leon's ass up. Y'all ain't... Cynthia, do you want to be with Leon, girl? Call him. I feel like Cynthia name drops Leon so often, girl. We know that's your baby daddy. We know. Trust me, we know. Angela said, look, I'm just advocating for Drew because I'm not going to let anybody just sit and attack anyone else. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stand for it. That shit is lame, according to Angela. So Drew finally shows up. And Britt and Kelly looked shocked. Y'all knew she was coming because production told y'all, ladies, Drew was getting ready to come in because y'all want me to point out that production brought Drew there. Production tells you, Drew, okay, Drew, okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on in. Okay, Drew's coming in, guys. That's what y'all want, right? So Drew comes in and it's like, hey, production sent me in. What's up for today, guys? So Drew said in her confessional that she is there to extend an olive branch since her and Porsha have been friends for years. Now, I'm gonna call cap on this, Drew. You weren't there to extend an olive branch. Did you come with the birthday gift? Because didn't you buy the birthday present at the whiskey tasting that production Porsha set up? Ain't that what you did? Nonetheless, so Drew goes to see her room. It's the bunk beds. You don't get to feel away about that, Drew, because you are an uninvited guest. Okay, take what you get. You're only going to be there for one night. It's not that big of a deal. Angela tells Drew, "Look, you should go talk to Porsha and get the heat off of me." So Angela, in her confessional, said that if she could do it all over again, she would still invite Drew. I said, "All right, get into it." Angela said, "And who gonna check me, boo?" Who? Right? So Portia tells Shamia that Angela was gaslighting her. Was she? Was she? I think gaslighting is often misused, and I don't think it fits in this particular moment, Portia, but I'm gonna let you cook. So Drew and Portia hug, and Drew tells her happy birthday. And Portia's gracious. How were your travels? Her 35-minute flight was fine. Portia said in her confessional that she has now calmed down and she's not one to constantly throw daggers at someone. I said, since the fuck when, Portia? We are on episode 8 and you were still bitching about Drew and Dennis working together. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Like, come on. Y'all wanted Portia's ass back. Y'all did. This is y'all fault because y'all wanted Porsha back. And I feel like it's not giving what y'all thought it was going to give. However, in the sprinter, Shamia is trying not to cry. Just happens all of a sudden. I was like, what happened? It took Porsha a little too long to get up to go check on her bestie. So Portia finally gets up and goes to see about her friend. Apparently, Shamia was married in 2008 for 1 year to a very abusive husband. So she said that, now this part I don't know if it was chopped weird, but according to Shamia, a woman she tried to tell about the divorce was mean to her and shut her out about it. So I don't know if it was a friend or whatever the case, but that woman decided right now in this moment to text her to, I guess, apologize for not believing her. I thought that was a little weird, right? Is that me? That seemed a little awkward, but nonetheless. So we didn't get a scene where Shamia is asking Cynthia how her mother's doing. Remember that one episode that Kenya held that event? Cynthia's mother's talked about abuse as well. So she's asking Cynthia how her mother's doing. Cool. Porsha, Shamia, and Kelly go to Coyote Ugly. The remaining ladies are going to go on a whiskey tasting. They got split. Drew was able to pick whichever group that she wanted to go with. Of course, she's not going to pick the group you're in, Porsha. Nonetheless. So at Coyote Ugly, they are taking shots on the bar with no hands. They're simulating how they would give fellatio. They are having a time. It's a time, right? So once they're done, Kelly asks about all the people last night that were asking about Drew. Manietta and, Portia's sister, and I forgot the other friend that was there. Porsha said it wasn't messy. Like, they all know Drew. Basically, Manietta was like, Drew's on the show, why she ain't here? That's what it was. Production told Manietta to ask. Production. So Porsha said, look, they all know Drew, and so they were all just wondering why she's not there because we are all cool. That's really what it was. Nothing malicious or anything like that. Porsha said, but I'm more confused about Angela because she believes Angela is setting Drew up. Shamia, who always has the tag team and always has to have Portia's back, Shamia said, look, Angela told me that she feels some kind of way about Drew. And I'm like, Shamia, you be starting shit, I feel like, unnecessarily, and nobody's gonna have your back in it, sis. Portia's not gonna have your back. But whatever. So Porsha said, look, Angela provoked everybody to have a negative reaction about Drew when she gets here. They ain't got nothing to do with me. She was setting Drew up. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. But whatever. So Cynthia, Britt, and Angela and Drew are whiskey tasting. And as they're whiskey tasting, they're getting the whiskey fresh out the barrel, which we know is one of the more pure ways to taste whiskey. So Angela and Porsha are talking, and Angela said that Porsha is hurt about inviting her, and because she feels that way, she now realizes that it was wrong. Angela, you knew it was wrong the moment that you did it, though. That's the thing. You knew it was wrong the moment that you did it, and that's why you didn't tell her that Porsha, that production told you to invite Drew. That's why you didn't do it. Drew said, look, I'm going to get a bottle of whiskey, and I'm going to put our picture on there, and I'm going to give it to Porsha as like a birthday present, a peace offering. I said, oh, okay, Drew. Cool. Britt then said, look, Angela, you were playing victim at dinner. Said that, you were acting as if you were catching heat. And you were acting very oblivious as to what was going on. And I said, well, Britt, you would know, baby, because that's what you do. You've been acting oblivious about the fact that you threatened Kenya with whips and chains and pistols and all that stuff. Ain't that what you did? I mean, you would know what it means to play victim because you're getting ready to play victim now. Let me tell you how. Britt then said, look, at the peace brunch, I thought I would get more support. No one had any empathy for me. I didn't get my hug. None of you bitches hugged me. No one cared about me. I needed support. You all only cared about Kenya. You didn't care about me. Who cares if I threaten her? That means nothing. I didn't get a hug. And I'm like, look, we're on episode 8. At this point, Britt, Kenya's not even on the show anymore. So for you to still be harboring on this, find another fucking storyline. Find something else to talk about, Britt. Because, no one's on your side. It's a couple viewers that are. But majority of the viewers aren't on your side. Shut up. So Britt then feels that Angela was not there in support of her. She was there. Nobody said that. Drew then said that them showing up was in support of you, and it was. Cynthia said, look, no one can tell Britt how to walk into a brunch because they said Britt walked in with bad energy, and she did. And Cynthia, you can shut up too because, yes, we can. People can absolutely say you came in with the wrong energy. Yes, you can. You can absolutely say that. So Britt then said that I've been in my house for 3 days crying and upset, and my reputation is being torn apart. This is not the time to point fingers at me. I was caught giving fellatio and it's blasted all over the place. I got caught in insurance fraud hoe. Yeah. This was after you threatened her. So, and I'm not saying that what Kenya did was right. I'm not saying that at all. I think what Kenya did was very disgusting. However, I do think that Britt needs to also take accountability for her actions as well. She does. So Angela apologizes. Drew said, we were just missing our friend. Angela apologizes again. Britt, however, does not apologize for how she blew up on her. Nobody else apologized to this weird ass bitch. Whatever. So we're at Porsha's dinner, right? So we're getting ready to have a nice chill dinner for the evening, just at the house. The chefs are there. They got the little cowboys making drinks for the bartenders. It's a vibe. So everyone's having fun. They're all dressed and they're all pre-gaming, and it's a good time. Porsha comes in dressed in all black and completely kills the mood because her vibe is off, just off rip, right? So Porsha said, look, in her confessional, she got a phone call that Dennis has been filming with Drew. Yeah, he has. We already saw the scene. So she's disappointed that Dennis chose opportunity over family. Porsha, baby, you the only person that's concerned about that scene, right? I have forgotten about the scene already. Nothing happened in the scene. They played a little bit of the song, and that was it. That was it. It's not that big of a deal. Porsha is acting as if Dennis is at Drew's house and they're sitting on the couch, drinking wine, smoking a hookah while talking about Porsha. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. We didn't care about that scene, Porsha. If we wouldn't have known that you had such an issue about it, people would have glossed over that scene so fast. So they have some cowboy dancers that come in and give them a line dance. Half their asses can dance, the other half cannot. So they sit down to eat, and Porsha is all stank face. Come on, Porsha. Come on, Porsha, because this is your birthday. This is your birthday. But if you want to ruin your birthday dinner, go for it. So everyone's asking, Porsha, what's wrong? Porsha, what's wrong? And of course, Porsha wants the attention. So she's like, I'm tired. I took some medicine. I'm good. I'm good. It's fine. It's cool. And it's like, ignore her. Enjoy your dinner. Ignore her. So Britt said, look, well, a lot got resolved at the wine tasting. Angela said, yeah. Britt said that I come across as a victim, but I don't know how I do. Britt was like, so then nothing was accomplished, nothing was revealed. No, because Britt, you give victim mentality too. So Angela was like, yeah, but Porsha said that I act like a victim too. What did you call me, victimina? Like you say I act like a victim as well. So Shamia said, well, Porsha said that you gaslight Angela. Angela said, how? How? Porsha's like, I don't remember. Look, the way I would have paid Porsha does the rest of the evening, this is your birthday, baby. If you want to act a fool and you want to soak on your birthday, go for it. It's my birthday and I'll cry if I want to. That is your prerogative. But go do it by yourself in the corner. Don't ruin nobody else's night. Don't do that. So Angela is still saying that Porsha never said that Drew was not invited. And Shamia was like, no. Porsha said everyone on the call was invited. Drew wasn't on the call. Angela said maybe Drew missed the phone call. I don't know that. So then they were like, Drew, were you on the call? Drew said, no, I wasn't on the call. Drew, did you know about the call? I didn't know about the call. And I'm like, y'all, look, at the end of the day, because this is what y'all want to hear, production told Angela to invite Drew. Production told Drew, you're going to take your ass to Nashville, right? But for the sake of the show, if I could, Angela, you knew what was wrong, right? You knew what was wrong. If Drew wasn't on the call, then you knew she wasn't invited. You knew she wasn't invited. If we want to play semantics and we want to, be balanced with it, Porsha never said Drew cannot come. Okay? That's what it is. But at the end of the day, Drew, you knew you weren't invited. You knew you weren't invited. Okay? Angela, you knew Drew was not invited. But whatever. So Angela apologizes for offending Drew or offending her over the Drew situation, and Porsha looks behind her to ignore her. But this is who y'all bigged up to come back on the show, because Porsha spent a lot of time just being a bitch at this dinner. So Angela feels that she's the only one being held accountable, and Kelly was like, "Wait, what?" So what's her name? Angela said, "Look, Kelly, didn't you ask Porsha a question about taking that woman's husband?" Kelly was like, no, that's two different situations. And Angela was like, well, no, not the accountability from you, from Porsha. Porsha, the world wants to know the answer. Why did you take that woman's husband? I said, damn. Okay. Porsha looked shook. Like Porsha's flabber was gassy. She could not believe that Angela asked her like that. So Cynthia was like, Porsha, would you like to answer? Porsha was like, no, Angela can kiss my ass. I said, ooh. Angela said the rest of the world can kiss your ass. Porsha said, you first. I said, damn. I like a good zinger. So Angela said in her confessional that she doesn't want to kiss fix a flat. Drew said, I cannot read today. Drew asked if Porsha was okay with her being there. Porsha kept looking around behind her and then was like, you straight? So Drew gets emotional, and Drew was like, well, I got you a bottle of whiskey and I'm just gonna go. Happy birthday. I'm gonna go. And I'm like, Drew, oh my God. So everybody's looking like, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? And Drew said, well, Portia's answer was very nice, nasty. And I'm just gonna leave if that's the energy. Angela was like, girl, eat your chicken. So everybody's clamoring to try to get Drew to stay. And Drew said, well, look, if anyone has an issue with me, let's just address it now. Put it on the table. Nobody answers. So Drew gets up to leave and said, well, I wasn't invited anyway. You knew you weren't invited, but production told you to come. So Porsha ruined her own birthday dinner. Like, I mean, my God. So Portia's like, look, Drew is being dramatic. I haven't made her feel unwelcomed. You haven't made her feel unwelcome. That is true. But in this moment, you have to admit that the way that you responded to Drew would make anybody that's sensitive like that kind of feel away. Now, Drew should have paid her dust, but she didn't. So dinner's over. Kelly ain't even get to eat yet. She's still looking for a fish. So Shamia and Angela go to check on Drew, and Drew said that she's not going to subject herself to insults and attacks. With everything that's going on, it's just too much for her at this moment. So she's not going to do it. So she's going to stay up in the bunk beds and just go to sleep, okay? Cynthia goes to check on Porsha, and Porsha says she got a very disappointing phone call before dinner. And Cynthia's like, look, I thought that you and Drew were friends. Porsha said, look, I don't like how I found out about Dennis and Drew working together. It was secondhand. Shut up with this, Porsha. It's petty. You know that that's not the real reason that you are forcing this. You're forcing it because you don't have a storyline because you and Simon are done and you can't film in your house. That's the thing, but whatever. So Portia then acknowledges in her confessional that only Dennis is obligated to her. Only Dennis owes her loyalty. Only Dennis owes her trust, which is true. So why are you taking it out on Drew? To have a storyline. So we then see all the ladies go out to the pool except for Angela and Drew. And they're all having a time. The next morning, Britt and Kelly wound up in bed together. They said, we got all these beds, and they wound up going to sleep together, probably drunk. And Britt said that Angela was recording them from the window. And y'all know Bravo be super shady, so they're showing the footage of her recording, and they got creepy music or whatever. Angela said, in my confessional, Porsha was inebriated and told her truth. And apparently, Porsha said, I should fuck Charles. I said, oh, I mean, it would be very on brand. So apparently they were talking about Angela. So Angela heard them and was like, shit, I'm gonna go down there and see what's good. So Angela goes to confront them, and Porsha immediately gets up and goes in the house. I said, Peach Juice, you scared of Angela? Okay. So Kelly confirms in her confessional that Porsha did say it. I said, damn. Okay, Kelly, Porsha gonna be mad at you. Porsha gonna be mad at you. So we see Angela getting ready to leave. Y'all, the way I said, what the fuck, when Drew came out, Drew, you're still there? Drew, you're still there? I thought Drew left. Girl, not you just going to. So Drew just stayed in her room all night, but that was the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.